Hey, I'm Johny Casebeer. Welcome to Slacker Sessions. This is a video series where I answer common questions we get on the website about bike setup and the Slacker digital suspension tuner. So one of the questions I get a lot is about if the rear axle placement affects your sag. So when you change a sprocket, change your gearing, if that axle moves much, does it affect your sag? And the answer is absolutely yes. It will completely change the handling of your bike. By moving the axle, I run my axle all the way to the back, always. I won't change my gearing because of that, because I find at the rear, it shifts the weight bias of the bike forward. The front end's a lot more planted, especially going into the turns. The fork dives right. The bike handles better. It's a lot more stable that way. And actually, contrary to popular belief, it turns better with the longer wheelbase because of the difference in the weight bias having the motor more forward of the rear axle. So I always run it to the rear. The more forward you bring it, you're really moving the weight bias back. You're taking weight off the front end. It's going to make the bike, it'll just fundamentally change it. I've moved my axle before and had my bike work great in the rollers, changed my gearing, and the axle moved about a ½ inch forward. I couldn't get through them anymore. This is also a super important part of both your sag, suspension setup, your overall bike handling, and suspension function. So really, this will give your swing arm a lot more purchase on the spring. You will tend to ride more in the spring than the compression dampers, and you won't have to lean on your dampers so much. The bike will handle a lot better coming out of in any kind of choppy acceleration bumps, any of that stuff. It'll really stabilize that bike and allow them to track through that because you're riding more on the spring and you're not working with a really stiff or loose compression damping setting.